the Interim Director of Strategy and Transformation, which is a new role in place since January this year, and my remit is around development of the strategy, refreshing it as we go through, making sure that we have plans to implement the strategy, and I also have the patient care and race equality framework in my portfolio, along with some of the work we're doing with strategic partners. So the operational management system is essentially a set of tools for teams across the organisation to help solve local problems and embed continuous improvement in their day-to-day routines. In some senses, it's nothing more than that. The system provides tools, it sets up routines, so certain meetings that you might want to have within the week to make sure that we're driving that focus. So those might be improvement huddles, for example. The idea is that we'll be able to focus on the areas that are the most important to our patients and our communities and drive progress in those areas that we know will be of great benefit. I would say fundamentally what we are hoping our staff will feel through the implementation of the OMS is that they understand what our organisation's objectives are, and they absolutely understand their role in contributing to achieving those objectives. Secondly, I would say it is a way of helping us focus on a smaller number of more impactful areas. We know that all the evidence shows that if you have a smaller list of priorities, you're much better able to actually create change and improvement in those areas. So, and the third thing is how the operational management system can help us move away from firefighting. There'll always be an element of reactivity in our jobs, but we think the system can help us plan proactively. Part of that is ensuring that frontline teams and management have a collective view of some of the challenges that we're facing and that we're working together to try and solve those problems. This is around equipping our teams with the skills, but also fundamentally empowering them to make improvements in their day-to-day roles. We know our teams are the experts in what they do. That's absolutely no doubt about that, and allowing our teams therefore to think through some of the challenges they face and chat through as a group, as a collective and multidisciplinary team, the actions they can take to improve that is fundamental to what this is all about. Trust leadership team's been working in a really different way. So first off, we've changed our weekly executive team meeting, so it looks very different now. We use standard work. Some of you who've been to our training might already be aware of standard work. We have a look at some of our strategic metrics using data to inform whether or not we're yet able to make progress or not, and we use A3 thinking to help us walk through those conversations. So just like all the teams who've been through the training, we've had the same training, and we're now trying to embed and use those tools in our day-to-day routines as well. The second thing we've done differently together is to agree between us which priorities for us as an executive team we think are important to delivering the strategy. And again, we've gone through a relentless prioritisation exercise. It's been really hard actually, but we've agreed a set of programmes and projects that we think are really critical for the strategy and will help us achieve what we've set out to. Finally, I think the leadership team are starting to, although many of our team have already been out and about, but we're starting to visit teams using a slightly new approach called a leadership walkabout. That's really about the executive team visiting various teams across the trust, listening and learning from what they've got to say, understanding some of the challenges they have, also hearing about some brilliant successes that there are across the organisation. So it's about us very much listening to you to help us do a better job at our roles as well. So I think I would say it's a helpful set of tools that will help you sit down as a team and address some of the really thorny issues that will be stopping you do your jobs day to day. It is our best organisational response to help us focus on those priorities that I've talked about, so that we do stop having very, very long lists of priorities and teams feel overwhelmed, because that's really important. And I think finally I would say this is very much an iteration of some of the approaches that we've used before. So those of you who might have been involved in continuous improvement before, this is around moving that on and creating a system of continuous improvement across the entire organisation. There's a real excitement, I think, around how we might be able to make improvements for our patients as a result of the operational management system.